Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. There's a video I've been wanting to make for quite some time now, and I have a few images that I want to show y'all. I'm just going to present some images to y'all as evidence. Now, some of the images may or may not be correct, some of them may be fake, but nonetheless, I would like to show y'all. And this is going to be more of a kind of decide on your own. I'll show you the images and you decide. Okay. So, first off, let's go ahead and take a look here at the NATO flag and map. Okay. First off, it's it's not your traditional globe look. It shows all the known continents kind of in a circle, and with the North Pole being in the center. And basically the South on all the outer edges. It's not showing Antarctica or the continent at all in here. Now, why would that be? Well, there's a few reasons, probably. For one, nobody's allowed to go to Antarctica because of the Antarctic Treaty, which was signed in 1959. Which basically makes it so that nobody's allowed there. Nobody is allowed to go to Antarctica. And if you try, you will be intercepted. Okay. So, let me show y'all another image here. Just 1 second. Okay. Next image. What we have here is supposedly there is a 3D painting in the New York NATO headquarters. And the image kind of says everything for itself. First of all, we need to determine if this really is at the UN headquarters in New York. Okay? If anybody has been in there, if anyone has seen this in there, we need to find out and confirm that, for one, because right off the bat, I'm sure there's a lot of people saying that it's not true, it's not really in there, this is fake, and I don't know. It could be in there, but I don't live in New York. I live in Texas. So anybody who is in New York, please try to find out if you can even go in. Probably nobody's allowed to just walk in there, right? Probably have to have some type of clearance. But if anybody does have clearance, somehow help us find out, is this really in there? We need to find out. Because if it is, this is big. Why would this be at the UN headquarters? Well, probably because it's real, is my first guess. Because I showed y'all the NATO map. Look at it again. It shows that no one lands inside, with the North Pole being the center, basically in between Canada and Russia. And if you look at this, that's basically the same thing. The Antarctic Treaty is making it so nobody is allowed to go to Antarctica. And And there's probably a good reason, because there's more land out there and they don't want anyone going there. I mean, that's the most simplest explanation. Also, NASA was founded in 1958. Okay? NASA was founded in 1958. The Antarctic Treaty was signed in 1959, just a year later. You know, it's connected. They decided in 1958 that we were on a globe and that Antarctica was a continent and that there's nothing else that exists on our planet. We're basically just on a planet and there's nowhere else to go. That was basically what they told us, that that's our planet and that's it. And then a year later, they came out with the Antarctic Treaty saying no one's allowed to Antarctica. Not only is there nothing else here, but you're not allowed to go to Antarctica. So they're preventing anybody from discovering that there is more out there. They want us to think that there's nothing else. Take a look at this image here. It's basically the same thing. And we're surrounded by ice walls and ice. And what does that outline look like to you? Well, it literally looks like the continent of Antarctica. Weird. This is what we were taught Antarctica was. We were taught that it was a continent at the southern pole and that nobody was allowed there. And we were told that this is the shape of it. But yeah, if you look at this image of the ice wall, it's the same shape of Antarctica. Weird. Well, I'm not saying this is real, but food for thought. You decide. I'm just showing you these images, and I'm just thinking of random ideas. All right, now going back to this picture here, I have another image to show you. Now, the next image is going to be a lot of information, and I'm going to try and keep it as minimal as possible. A lot of you may have already seen this, but for those of you who have not seen this, I just want you to keep an open mind. I'm not saying that it's real. I'm just saying that it could be, and to just have an open mind. This is basically a very similar image to the painting, but it has descriptions and names of the lands. So you have your ice wall here, which is the outer circle of the NATO map. Basically saying that this is the land that they control. This is the known lands. And the lands outside of the ice wall are these lands shown here. Gemenia, Asgard, Pitatia, how do you pronounce that? Libris, moving lands of Thoth, and the ancient lands of Anak, with new oceans, the Neptunian Ocean, and the lands outside of the ice wall has their own sun. It appears that it goes in a circle. And there's another ring around that, except it's not an ice ring. It's shown as basically a land ring or rock, whatever it is. So those of you who have seen this image before, you'll know that there's a lot more to this. I'm not going to go into that in this video because it's a lot of information, but I will make another video about it. But yeah, this is huge. This is big. You know, if this is what's been being hidden from us for all this time, then it's quite the lie that they've been telling us. It is quite the lie. Now, again, nobody is allowed to the ice wall unless you're some government expedition, you know, scientific exploration, some scientific mission. That's the only way you're allowed to go there. But otherwise, you can't go. And, you know, Admiral Byrd is a recorded admiral from I think it was the 50s. There's a recorded expedition where they went to the ice wall. It was a joint military expedition. And this has pretty much been documented to have been real. So they went to the ice wall. They went over it. I think they said they flew planes like 2 hours over the ice wall. It was nothing but ice for 2 hours until they started seeing green land. And that's a whole nother story. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about that. But, you know, if you try to go to the South Pole, this is what you're going to be greeted with. Giant ice walls that stretch for as long as the eyes can see. And that's basically where it stands as of right now. So I want everybody to let me know your thoughts. Place some comments down below. What you think is true, what's not true. Again, I'm not claiming anything to be true. I'm just saying that all this could be true. And I honestly hope it's true, because that means that the truth is more wild than I could have ever imagined. And yeah. All right, guys. I'll see you next time on the next video. And take care. Peace.